We're going to be beginning a new unit today, and we'll be looking at an artist called Henri Matisse. Artist known both for his use of colour and his fluid and original draftsmanship. Now, draftsmanship means technical drawings, a bit like architectural drawings for buildings. His was fluid, natural, the way he drew his buildings, and original, so very unusual, particular to him. He was a sculptor, but he is known primarily as a painter. He is famous for his paper cutouts work. Now that gives you a bit of a clue about what we'll be doing, but let's have a look at some of his work. He seems to be cutting out. Let's have a look, see what we can notice about some of his work. This is a very unusual one. If you can guess what this picture is about, please email me at the address at the front and the end of this video. I'm not going to tell you what it's of. It's an abstract picture, so it doesn't look exactly like the thing it's meant to be of. But see if you can work it out. Ideas on a postcard or in an email. Now, there's some very unusual images there, and I'm sure lots of you have had ideas about what you think they are. You can always go back and look at the video a bit more slowly if you want to have another look. Just have a think. If you're in school, think, what do you notice about his work? And you are going to talk to your partner about that in a minute. If you're at home, think about what you notice and talk to the people at home and ask them what they notice in Henri Matisse's work as well. What images repeat? What do you think his themes are? And what type of shapes does he like? What colours does he like? What can you say about his work? Bonus question as well. What do we call the technique of creating a picture by sticking materials onto a surface? I'm sure you know the answer to that. Okay, pause this video if you need to discuss. So, I'm only going to mention a couple of things that you probably talked about. His pictures are very colourful, they are very sort of naive and simple in some ways. And these ones that we've looked at are made by this technique of creating a picture by sticking materials onto a surface. What is it? It is collage, that's right. We are going to be doing collage. Now, if you are in school, you can write your title in your sketchbooks at either the top, bottom, or the sides of the page like we normally do. If you're at home, you can write a title on the piece of paper that you're working on if you want to. And today we're going to be focusing in particular on this image. It is called The Dancers. Okay, let's have a think about this image. What can you see in this picture? Again, talk to your partner or talk to whoever's at home about it. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you paused this video and had a discussion about it. And I'm just going to pull together a couple of ideas which I imagine you may have noticed. It looks like a very lively picture to me. It looks like they are pulling each other around in a dance. Particularly, this person here seems to be diving along as if he's being pulled along in a dance. They look very animated. If we look at this man here, he's bending over. Dancing, maybe it reminds me of dancing by a fireside. Perhaps they're all dancing around a fire, but it looks very energetic. And whenever we're talking about this, lots of people normally mention this star shape here because it looks like a bit of a pow. It looks like there is something, maybe they've slapped hands together, or maybe it's the excitement of the dance. But that image, it makes it look exciting. It makes it look like there's something fun going on. So, do you know, it makes me feel I cannot wait until we can go dancing together again. We haven't been able to do that for a while, have we? So anyway, our task today is to choose our favourite dancer from this picture. So if you're at home, you might need to go back to that video and have a look at it again. We are going to draw an outline that fills our page, an A4 page, in our sketchbook or on a piece of paper, and we're going to collage it in with torn bits of paper. Okay, now this paper can be any paper that you have at home. If you have a newspaper, that would be brilliant. If you have a magazine, if there's even an old book that mum and dad don't mind you tearing the pages out of to use the text, that would be brilliant. But only if it's an old book that mum and dad say you can. Maybe mum and dad might have got some junk mail in the post that they don't want, that you could tear the writing up from. Or if you haven't got any paper with writing on, any paper will do. As long as it's a little bit different from the paper that you're sticking it onto, otherwise you won't be able to see it. We are just practicing tearing and sticking and collaging in the shape that we have drawn. But our first thing to do is to draw the person that we've chosen from this image. So I'll go back to the picture. We need to pick one of these dancers to draw to fill the page. Now we need to think about our success criteria for observational drawing. Now we've done observational drawing absolutely loads of times, and I'm hoping that you will be able to remember. You should be able to tell me what is the success criteria. How do we go about making an observational drawing, drawing something that we're looking at, and in this case enlarging it so that it fills our page. So if you're at school, talk to the person next to you. Rally Robin, what do you have to do an observational drawing? If you're at home, talk to the people at home. So pause this video and have a chat. Okay, I'm assuming again that you've had your chat. So let's just have a quick recap about how we do observational drawing. We need the thing that we're drawing to be in a comfortable position in front of us. So your laptop or your iPad or something needs to be in front of you somewhere comfortably. Or if you're at school, your picture that you're copying it from. We need to have our drawing paper in front of us, and we need to start by drawing some little guidelines to show us how big we want our picture to be, because we want it to fill the page. We draw little guidelines to show us where the top and the sides and the bottom needs to be. If there's particular features, do a little line to show you where those features are going to start and end. Then we get drawing, but we need to draw lightly, as we always say, because why? We're going to need to rub it out, aren't we? Because we always make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So draw lightly until you are happy with your shape, and then when you're happy, then you can go over it a bit harder so we can really see the edges. We don't need any details of hatching, cross hatching, anything like that in our picture today, because it's just an outline of a dancing person. Okay, I'll do it with you. I know we only got one life to live. Every second on the clock is it. Everybody gotta stop the talk ticking. Turn up, we still got the music loud. The only way we're gonna get through it. So don't nobody go stop the rock hitting. Leave the fever outside your cabin. Seize the moment, reach out and grab it. If we're gonna get higher, set it on fire. It's now or never. If we're gonna go crazy, let's go together. Even if we lose our heads, it's alright 'cause we got friends. If we're gonna go crazy, let's go together. Now that we've drawn our person, it's time to collage it in. There's a piece of it for everyone to do what they want with it. Live up to who you know you're meant to be. I know you got the invite, 'cause we all got the invite.
all the time. If we're gonna go crazy, gonna go crazy, gonna go crazy! If we're gonna get higher, set it on fire.
Finished my collage of my dancing figure. I decided to use a different colour for the band, the kind of star there, because I just wanted to add a bit of difference. So you don't, like I said, you don't have to use text for your collaging, you can use any paper you want. Now I just added a little extra detail which I thought if you want to challenge yourself, you could annotate around the edge with the name of our artist, Henri Matisse. You could write the fact that we're using collage. I wrote the dance, which is the name of the picture this figure is from. And also, as we often do in our sketchbooks, I just annotated a few observations around the edge. I've written fluid movement, paper cutouts. Matisse used simple, bright images. They were just things that we observed through the lesson. So if you want to do some annotations, you can. You could even write down some interpretations of what you think this star might be for. There's another thing which you could challenge yourself on, which I can't show you because my glue is still a bit wet. So when your glue is dry, if you want to, it might look very nice if you were to put either grey pencils smudged around the edge of your dancer, or you could use coloured pencils or coloured pens, something to show the edge nice and clearly and sort of fade out in an ombre way. You could do that particularly if you've got any pastels or chalks at home. Anyway, I'd love to see your work, so please send it to the email that's
Crazy, let's go together. I know, we only got one life to live.